How do I define mentorship? Mentorship to me is a relationship. It is about two people engaged in a meaningful, productive relationship with each other. And relationships can be so many different things, right? It is really about give and take. So both people get something out of this relationship and they get out what they put into it. So I think of mentorship broadly in that way. Anyone can be a mentor. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your position, it doesn't matter your education level, your background, your ethnicity, your religion, your faith. None of those things matter. What matters is you have something to share. You have something to give, and you're willing to give of yourself to someone else who is genuinely, sincerely interested and willing to also meet you there in that relationship space. So to me, that's what mentorship looks like. And it can take on varied forms, and it changes and evolves like any relationship over time, because the people in it, the people who are part of this mentor-mentee relationship, they also change. Things happen in their lives, in their personal life, in their professional lives, that requires this supportive relationship to change and evolve as well. I think that's when mentorship is really meaningful and impactful for both the mentor and the mentee. So it is not about only taking. It's not about moving yourself forward in some way. It really is about connecting with someone else and engaging in this mutually beneficial relationship. Because to me, it is better in many ways to give than it is to receive. An example of meaningful mentorship that I have received as a mentee happened when I was in undergrad. And I was very committed to my faith life, and still am. And I thought for certain that I was being called to be a missionary, to be a missionary and to serve in that way. And I recall a conversation with my mentor at the time, who, again, is such a dear friend, and I trust him because he always listened. He always listened attentively, and was always careful to understand what I needed and not what he wanted to tell me. And we had this incredibly deep conversation around me being called to serve and how that could take many different shapes and forms. And perhaps this moment wasn't the right moment for me to take that step to become a missionary. And so what was most meaningful for me was he didn't give me the answer. He asked questions that allowed me the space to think more critically about why I wanted to do that thing, to be a missionary, and allowed me to arrive at my own conclusion that I would be better served pursuing another path that would still allow me to serve, but in a very different capacity. So that for me was a real meaningful engagement with my mentor. And it was all about him listening, asking questions, and creating the space for me to arrive at my own conclusion. So whether I'm the mentor or the mentee, what matters and when I get the most out of mentorship is when there is a genuine connection. For me, most of the mentors in my life are good friends. Over time, they have become good friends. They know me. They're invested in my success. They care about me. They've come to know my family, my story, And that's what I try to do. That's what I try to bring when I am a mentor. That's what I try to bring to those relationships, is caring about the person on the other end, caring about their story, their interests, their background, what they hope to accomplish, their dreams, their aspirations, understanding where those things come from. What inspires someone to want to achieve those goals? That allows me to be a better mentor. And that, for me, starts with listening. I do not think you can be a good mentor if you don't listen. Now, you can't have some preconceived notion about how to get to point A or point B based on your personal experience, because we each have our own story. We each have our own path. And understanding that requires that you listen attentively and closely, understand the underlying meaning that inspires someone to want to achieve something. When that level of connection, that level of depth is reached, for me, that's when mentorship really takes off for both the mentor and the mentee.